All right, welcome to the Scream Boy Podcast, episode number 29. And tonight we are discussing What Happened, Movie Pass. All right, so if you're not familiar with Movie Pass, we'll go over all that. But I tell you what, me and the guys are here, and we're fired up about this because we are all three movie aficionados, movie junkies. We love going to the theater. But before we get into that, I mentioned there are two other guys here with me, and so let's get into some introductions. With us, as always, is the disapproving dad, the man behind many podcasts, and that would be Jesse Starcher. Jesse, how you doing tonight?
Twitter handle Mr. Podcasts a lot.
Yes. You do. I mean, you and Mark hold records, man. It's amazing. The only people I know that have maybe more than you all are the McElroy brothers that do my brother and me, the Adventure Zone, and then they splinter off into like two or three more of their own.
They can try. We're coming after them. Tell them to look out.
You know what the secret is?
What's that?
Having a schedule.
With that voice you hear, that sultry golden voice belongs to none other than the patriarch of the Radulich and Broadcasting Network, the mandated reporter, and frankly, he's mortified. I love it when you say that. That's why I steal it for you. Mr. Mark Radulich. Mark, you doing well tonight?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm doing just fine. We had a lazy day at home today. I sat on the couch. I caught up on all my Hulu and CW shows. My daughter and I caught a couple episodes that we had missed from MasterChef Junior. We had, speaking of dietary needs, we had Hardee's for breakfast. We all kind of
speaking of dietary needs.
Man, Hardee's biscuits and gravy though. God.
Mm-hmm. We had Hardee's for breakfast. We kind of skipped lunch. We had an early dinner, but dinner was provided by Mobile Meals, which is if you don't know what a Mobile Meals is, it's kind of like an Uber Eats. And if you don't know what an Uber Eats is, it's one of those places where you use your app on your phone or your website to order food from restaurants in your neighborhood, and a nice little delivery person brings you the food, and you fat ass don't have to get off the couch.
Nice.
Perfect. I had a New York strip steak, mashed potatoes, and a salad. It was delicious.
Just eliminate any exercise to go get food.
Oh my God. Walking to the door was all I could handle today.
Wonderful.
Nice.
So yeah, it was as Ice Cube once said, today was a good day.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I will, I wasn't even there, and I can tell you it was a good day. But all right, so I'm glad you all had good days, other than the plague hitting the Starcher house.
Oh yeah.
But he does. His family doesn't really have the plague, but close to it.
I took a nap today, so
That's good.
That brightens my spirits.
Yeah, nothing like a Sunday nap. I took one today too.
Dude, this is just an old fat podcast. Seriously, it's like what was the highlight of your day? I took a nap. How about you? I ordered food and didn't get off the couch.
I was winded going to the door.
Jesus Christ! Like kids listening to this podcast going, so I listen to these three old bastards, right? They're just old and fat. Talk about naps.
Hey, no, I went for a walk today.
Good for you.
I went for a good walk.
Mail?
No, yes, I did check the mail, but no, we walked around the neighborhood. And,
nice.
Yeah.
Well, you live in North Carolina. Is that where your mailbox is? Like,
yes.
You have to walk miles to get to your mailbox.
Oh no! I live around other people.
Oh, okay.
I live in a neighborhood. Yeah, it's a development, and so it's right outside, down my driveway.
Look at you, fancy.
I know, right? I'm one of them city fat people. But we walked around the neighborhood and then around some hills and stuff like that, and I say we, but I just took my dog for a walk. And
so Ronnie,
it was a lot of fun.
Ronnie, I was gonna take my kids to go see Infinity War. I would have seen it for a third time. My kids would have seen it for the first time. Want to know why I didn't? Ask me why I didn't go see Infinity War today.
Mark, that's funny because I was going to go see it a second time, but I didn't go. I didn't go.
Is your reason?
I'm curious to know your reason if it's the same as mine.
I was going to say, is your reason the same as my reason?
What was the reason? Jesse, have you seen it?
Let me tell you guys, I was going to go see Infinity War one time. I was just going to see it the first time, and I got so mad I didn't go. Ask me why.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. So I'm going to stick with Mark. Mark, why did you not see Infinity War for a third time?
Because I was willing to pay for my kids to go see it, but I'm not going to pay for it a third time.
Right.
I'm not paying for it a second time, which I didn't. So, and apparently MoviePass, their new terms of service says you can't do repeat viewings of the same movie. As a matter of fact, after I updated the app, anything in my history going all the way black to Black Panther.
Panther. I don't know if MoviePass covers them types of movies there, Mark Radulich.
All the way back to Black Panther says, nope, you've already seen this movie. So it wasn't just the Avengers. It's anything I've seen since I became a MoviePass subscriber. It said, you've already seen this movie. Go see something else and get off the couch, fatso.
I don't think it said that.
It might as well have.
That's what mine said. I don't know what yours says, but yeah, MoviePass has a new terms of service where it says you can't do repeat viewings of the same movie. At which point I said, "Fuck it, it's not worth it for me to go see the movie again. I don't want to have to pay full price for it. That's what I have a MoviePass thing for." So I didn't go. And in not going, the movie theater was then derived of the 2 tickets I would have bought for my children, plus all the snacks we would have bought.
Right.
All right, let's dial it back.
All right, let's
let me dial it back, and I'll throw it to Ronnie here. Ronnie, why don't you tell us about MoviePass, then we'll kind of tell you about how we all came to it.
That's
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Oh, so go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
I blame you, sir.
Well, okay. First of all, get off my show.
Oh no.
Yeah, if you're gonna blame me. No. Listen. All right, so let's talk about MoviePass. MoviePass is a subscription service. If you are a movie fan like we three are,
I do a movie review show. God damn it!
You do. You do. I understand this. Listen, I'm not. I don't blame you, but we all just need to drink a glass of water, find our inner woosah, and just
woosah.
And then we'll let loose. But anyway, so MoviePass, I read about it and I thought it was too good to be true because MoviePass has been around for a while. It started out at $39.95, I think, a month, or cheaper than that, or $30 a month.
Oh wow!
It was either $30 or $40 a month, and it was they had a limited amount of movies you could see. So basically, MoviePass, you sign up, they send you a MasterCard with your name on it. You use their app. You check in when you're 100 yards away from the theater, same day, or you can actually use it to do online ticketing if you have reserved seats in your theater or anything like that, or if it supports the online ticketing through MoviePass. When you check in, you tell them what movie, what time, and they put the amount of the ticket from that theater onto that MasterCard, and you use it to buy your ticket. Now, when I signed up, I got one movie a day per month for $9.95 a month. $10 a month, up to 31 movies a month. And I thought, that's too good to be true. Well, there's no way I'm going to see 30 movies in a month, I don't think. But if I see 4 or 5, it's more than paid for itself. And that's perfect. So I signed up for it. It took me a while, to get my card and everything. I think some people that signed up after me got the card before me, which was crazy to me. But once I got my card, it was smooth sailing. It actually, clocks in your what you've seen and everything. So if I go to my history of right here it is. So I've seen my very first movie I saw in there was Kingsman: The Golden Circle. And I saw Blade Runner 2049. It, The Foreigner, Thor Ragnarok twice, Star Wars Episode 8, The Greatest Showman, Commuter, Jumanji, Black Panther, Death Wish, Red Sparrow, which was terrible, Hurricane Heist, which was
Awesome.
amazingly terrible, awesomely terrible. Tomb Raider, Pacific Rim, Ready Player One, Rampage, Quiet Place, Super Troopers 2, and Avengers. And out of those, I've seen Super Troopers twice. Don't ask why. Ready Player One twice. Pacific Rim twice. Thor Ragnarok twice. And something else, I think. No, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've seen 4 of those movies twice. I know why I didn't see Star Wars more than once. Because other people paid for my ticket. Which I'm not going to fight on. So I've seen some good movies. I've seen some movies I wouldn't have gone to see had I not had Movie Pass, which was Hurricane Heist, Red Sparrow, The Greatest Showman, things like that, which I really enjoy Greatest Showman. So I've seen a lot of movies, I thought I saw more than that, but which I don't know if it's holding, all of my movies that I've seen. But and it was super simple. You go in, you check in, you pay for your ticket, you pay for your concessions separately, which I'm more apt to pay for concessions now that I don't have to pay for the ticket, and go on about my day. And it was amazing. You hold it to one movie a day. You can go whenever, however many times, throughout the month you want. So essentially I told Jesse and Mark about it. So I will let you all describe, how, your first initial thoughts about it from here. So Jesse, we'll start with you.
All right. So yeah, you sold me on the idea. And first thing I thought was the same thing you did. This is too good to be true. How could this possibly be? $10 a month, and I can see any 2D movie I want one a day? Yeah. I mean, come on. That's a no-brainer. Not
to interrupt you, I'm so sorry. The terms of service of this was it is a 2D movie only, no festivals, pardon me, no double features, no 3D or IMAX, which is understandable. Yeah, it's completely understandable.
Yeah, I mean,
$10 movie ticket, $10 a month, no big deal.
You told me about this, and I was like, okay, well, this might be a good idea. Now, you did say that I'm a movie aficionado. Now, I'll tell you right now, I do enjoy going to the theater when I can, but I'm also notoriously known as a cheap son of a gun.
Well, yes, but
I'm not going to spend money, and I really always viewed the movie theater as one big ripoff, in my opinion. That was just me. I didn't like going to the movies because I knew how they fleeced you with the drinks. They fleeced you with the popcorn. The ticket was outrageous sometimes. You just be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm paying that much. I paid 20 years ago, I was paying $5.
You were so old before your time.
But you told me about this, and I was like, man, that is a really good deal. Not only that, but my specific purpose was to get it for my daughter, who she's getting into her teenage years. She likes going to the movies with her friends. You guys were all kids at that time. Movies were fun to go to with your friends. You did that when you were a teenager. So I was like, well, this will probably be something that she would be interested in doing. So that sold me. I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. $10 a month, I could probably. They didn't have any restrictions on how long you had to do it. At that point in time, that wasn't something you had to sign up for. Was a long period plan. You could get it for 1 month and then cancel, as far as I knew, right after if you didn't like the idea of the plan. Yeah. So I got it and gave it to Kira for her Christmas present, and we got our card. I think maybe a week and a half later. And I think I was the first one to use it. I think so. Merry Christmas, Kira. I'm going to use your card. I went and saw Star Wars: The Last Jedi, I believe. So I cracked it in. I was like, man, I'm very pleased with this. Now, I went to the theater. I didn't buy any concessions. I sat in the theater and watched my movie and left. Cheapest way I could get in, cheapest way I could get out. I'm perfectly happy with that. Kids, on the other hand, are a different story. You can't take a child or send the child to the theater without giving them money for concessions. Hence, doing research and trying to figure out how are these guys making money off of this when I was doing this, because again, it's too good to be true. I think one of their core ideas was to bring more people into the theater and hopefully have theaters and maybe filmmakers or whatever work with them a little bit to try and recoup this cost, because these guys were really operating at a loss. There's just no way to get around it. But the purpose was to bring in as many people as they could. I saw that, and I saw it with myself. I was going there, getting concessions, and even though I didn't want to, I was buying pop. I was buying the popcorn, and I frequented the movie theater way more than I ever did. Way more than I ever did. So we went and saw Kira's went and saw Greatest Showman, I think twice. So we've seen our multiple movies. I wanted to go. The plan for Infinity War was to go and take one of the kids and then go again and take another kid. So they were going to get a ticket out of me. The theater was going to get a ticket out of me either way, because I can only use it once for myself and then once for the child. So, it was all going to work out, but then all of a sudden Friday happened, and we'll get into that. But yeah, that's what brought me to it. And then next thing you know, I'm talking to Mark Radulich, who goes to the movies. The man goes to the movies, and I thought, man, if there's anybody else that could benefit from this card, it would be that guy. Now, I also gifted my mom a 3-month subscription to it, because she goes to the movies every weekend with my aunt. I was like, well, there's another person that could really benefit from this. She goes and spends, I think $8 or $7 a weekend. She's spending $28. I could get this for her. Actually, me and my sister went in halvesies on it, got it for her, and she saved all sorts of money for 3 months. It was a great plan, and she made use of it. And then Friday happened, and I'll talk about, if I get a chance, I'll talk about what happened with my mom. But I'll turn it over to you, Mark. Your initial thoughts on Movie Pass and your initial experiences.
Well, you're absolutely right. I do a movie review podcast, and I work on that list kind of year round as to what we're going to review for the following year, and then I give it to Robert Winfrey to approve. And although he likes to say I'm torturing him, he fucking says yes every time. He's like, yeah, these all seem fine to me. And usually for the first 2 months, there's not much of anything that we need to review. But once March for the past couple of years has been, every week there was a blockbuster movie of some kind. This year we had it was Death Wish, Ready Player One, what do you call it? Hang on.
Rampage.
No, Rampage was in April. We had Death Wish, A Wrinkle in Time, Tomb Raider, and Pacific Rim, and then Ready Player One all throughout the month of March. So, I mean, that gets costly when you're going every week. And then the summer is usually, between May and July, that's 12 weeks of movies, typically. We there's almost a movie every single week for one reason or another. This year there's a couple of breaks in the schedules, but you know what I'm saying. Over the summer is a big blockbuster season, and that's a heavy season for us to go to the movies. My wife insisted that I join Movie Pass because of that reason. She was like, look, if you're going to go to the movies every single week, even if it's just for a few months, you might as well get the Movie Pass. And that was back in January. And as soon as I got it, I was going on the movies even more. Because like I said, I had no intention to start going to the movies until Black Panther came out. Or Back Panther, however you like it. However you want to say it. But instead, I saw Proud Mary. I saw I, Tonya. I went almost every week. I saw 12 Strong. And then I gave it to her.
There's so many movies that I didn't go see with this, and I'm so sad.
I gave it to her. I gave it to her to take the kids to go see Peter Rabbit. And before anyone starts to make the argument of, oh, well, you're really not supposed to do that. Again, yeah, she didn't have to pay for her ticket, but she still paid for concessions for the kids, and she paid for the kids' tickets. She's, and I'm not the one that used it. She did, So I wasn't going to see Peter Rabbit. You know what I mean? So the point of all this was, it became kind of an essential tool if I was going to continue to use if I was going to continue to do the movie reviews. But the other side of that was, like, I would go Friday night to go see something, and then on Sunday I would take my kids to go see something. And so for a couple of those movies, I ended up seeing them twice to accommodate, to accommodate, like Black Panther. I know I saw twice because I saw it opening night Friday, and then I took the kids on Sunday. Right. So I didn't understand when they changed things to only one viewing. I was like, why? How is this benefiting the theater? Now, I do have some reasoning behind this. I actually have an article when you're ready, Ronnie, as to, I think, where MoviePass is coming from and why they're not nearly, we all keep bringing up how their decision to change their TOS is actually going to cost the theaters money because we're going to go less and spend less now. But I don't think that was their goal to begin with. So whenever you're ready.
Mm-hmm. So basically, MoviePass, they changed everything around their TOS, their terms of service. It started with this. It started with people having to take pictures of their movie stubs now.
Okay, let me jump in real quick with that because Ronnie talked about, Jesse talked about his mother joining the service. My parents go to a movie every week. We used to go on Wednesdays, where it's like half price tickets at our local AMC. They both have an account, and my father has kind of talked to me about sort of the troubles they've had with it. He's also the first person to talk to me about the taking pictures of a ticket thing, which I've never had to do, but he's tried to do it, and he thinks it's a huge pain in the ass.
Well, I don't think I've not had any problems with it so far.
Here's what I heard and what I read on Twitter and some of the articles. From what I understand, they would roll it out to you as what they would call we're beta testing something. We're beta testing this. You've been selected to be part of the beta. We need you to help us by taking pictures of your stubs. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like, do you think that's an option? No. Because what happens is if you don't take the picture of that stub, they will then give you one pass, one freebie. And if you don't do it again, you violated the terms of service and you're out.
Right.
You're done. Which is, I don't know. For beta testing something like that, I think that's crap.
I think a lot of people were doing where I heard this. Okay, we'll talk about this first. The taking the pictures. I've heard of people setting up on college campuses and places like that. I've heard of them setting up daggone businesses where they would sell their movie. They'd open up multiple accounts somehow and sell their tickets. A day. Every day or whatever.
Yeah.
They find out people would place an order, quote unquote, and then they would place an order with them, buy their ticket, and do that like every day or a couple of days a week or whatever. So that's why they said start taking a picture of your stuff.
That's
I get it, but still you can still rip the ticket and get away with it.
Yeah,
I get it. It's not. It's not
fix anything. I mean, anybody can get around that.
No.
Yeah. You can get around that by as soon as you get that stub, take a picture of it and you take it back and hand it to your buddy. I mean, I would buy Kira tickets I would say like right after I get off work, I'd go to the theater. I'd check in. I want the 7:30 for whatever. He'd give me the ticket. Thank you very much. I give Kira the ticket when I get home. Okay. Right. It's her. She's not old enough to have the card, but I mean, I got it for her for Christmas so she could watch movies with it. I could have easily taken the picture right then and there. So it would have been very easy to get around of. Only a stupid, somebody that's not paying attention or have any idea what they're doing would, not understand if they're going to do this, they need to, and they're going to request it, take a picture of it. But go ahead.
Correct. Well, I mean, there's only so many things you can do. with the service. Now, this business, from what I understand, started out as a couple of guys in their apartment, running this business, and it's gone into they've hired employees and everything because it's gone, it's blown up like it should, because a lot of people were doing their own thing, or doing their own thing. They were actually using the service correctly and signing up for it, and they kind of blew up. A lot of people signed up for it, and it's a good deal. So, it's there's only so much you can do with millions of people subscribing to this, and then cards and everything. So, I don't mind the taking of the pictures. Now, when it got into the forcing you to update your app, and at that point, they block out physically, like on your app. It's physically you cannot click on it. The movie, if you've seen it once, it will not allow you to see it again. It says you have already seen this, and then it goes on. Which if you're anything like Mark and myself as well, there's not many movies left on there that I have not seen or have any interest of seeing, and that's crappy.
The day that this changed, or at least for me, it changed, which I think it changed on Friday. If it changed before that, it would have only been within the last day or so before that. But I went to the theater because Mindy sends me a message and she says, "Will you get Kira a ticket for A Quiet Place, 7:30?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So I go to the theater, I check in with my app, and A Quiet Place is right there. I check into it, grab the ticket, come back, and go home. And then, of course, at about 10 o'clock that night, the whole crap storm hits, and I'm trying to update my app. And I notice right when I get into my app before I'm forced to update it, it says A Quiet Place. You've already seen this movie. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. So I just narrowly beat that whole thing before it changed on my phone, because that same day I bought a second ticket for, I bought a second viewing of A Quiet Place. But yeah, it's so funny that I did that. And then later that night, within 3 hours, all this stuff had started going on for me. So go ahead.
So that's the main point of their terms of service that we've noticed that is kind of crappy for us, because I want to go see Avengers again, and it's one of those movies that it repeats. That is a repeat viewing for me.
I've seen it twice.
I have not got a chance to see it twice, which really upsets me.
And can we just real quick talk about, or at least want to bring it up, how they changed like the sign up terms as well. When we got in there,
we were getting to that.
Okay, I won't step on your feet
no, you're fine.
Okay.
But it's the thing that I'm asking is, so we know that it affects each of us differently. Mark, you're a repeat viewer, mainly because of your kids. Jesse, you're a repeat viewer, whether it's you actually or not. It's maybe you and your kid. You'll see it once, and then your daughter sees it once.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a repeat viewer because I just like, there's certain movies that that I see that I can't take. Avengers is one of them. I can't take all of that in at once. I have to see it again to enjoy it and to to figure out what's going on, how much I like it. Blah blah blah.
It is a lot to take in. You really have to relax. So much. You have to dim the lights, relax, breathe, and just let it all go in. And even the first time, it's not going to go in all the way. It's
no. Wow, what the heck just happened here?
Were you shooting for that, Mark, or was that total?
Totally was. He totally was.
I was. What I can't believe is how Ronnie ran with it there for a second. It was like, hey, wait a minute.
I didn't realize what's going on. Listen, it's been a day.
I didn't.
It's been a day for me.
I had no idea.
I understand where you're coming from now, Mr. Radulich, and I'll have you stop.
You cut that out.
You knocked that off, dirty bird. But for real though, I mean, this is I mean, this truly puts a hamper on on everything that has to do with MoviePass. I actually started looking at other options other than MoviePass that might be a better deal. There's another one out there called Cinema, or it's spelled really weird.
Sinema.
Yeah, and it allows for multiple showings, but it only has 4 showings a month. But you can go see whatever you want, and you can actually see IMAX and 3D as well. So, which was like, but it's still not as good of a deal as MoviePass. And so with that, not only did they say, hey, you can't see this twice, they've changed their whole package setup. So I know you said you got it for your mom for Christmas, correct?
Yeah.
And she enjoyed it for 3 months. And if I'm not correct, I don't want to step on your story here, but she did accidentally let her MoviePass lapse, correct?
Yep. Yeah, it lapsed.
What happened there?
So the 3 months thing expired. She goes back in there. I believe it requires her to update her app, and I think she even said that she was having trouble like starting the subscription back up, so she used a different email address and then used her own card to get a new subscription. Well, sure. Now the subscription is that you can only see 4 movies per month, no repeat viewings, and only 4 movies a month. That is it, compared to 31 is what you said earlier, Ronnie. Yeah. 31. You just had all of the movies, all those movies. It's been reduced down to less than what, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh of what it was. I mean, that's crazy. But my mom, bless her heart, she said, well, that's still a good deal. Now, we can get into the talks about, it's still a good deal, not a good deal. It's definitely not a good deal as it was.
Right.
And, man, my biggest problem is how they did this. Mm-hmm. I think that is what really sticks in my craw, how they sprung this on their customers, which is just ridiculous. Oh, yeah, also, you have to sign up for 3 months at a time. So you have to do mom has to put forth $40, I think is what it was. No, $30. It was $30, and she's got she gets it for 3 months. She can go see a movie, 4 movies a month. So I think that is a sight different than what we were brought into, what we were told, and how what sold this whole product to me was the fact that I could do this, that my kids can enjoy it as well, and their package is different now. Just as you said, there's no longer no term 31 movies a month, 28 in February, whatever. 1 movie a day in the month. $9.95. Don't worry about it. Go for it. And it goes from that to, hey, you can only see the movie once. Hey, you have to take a picture of your ticket stub. Hey, glad I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in this that
I just want to see a movie.
What's happening right now? So they changed their whole thing to now. It is 4 movies a month, $29.95 or $39.95. And then you get iHeartRadio for like a month.
Who
or something.
Gives a shit?
Oh my gosh! I remember seeing that
when I listened to iHeartRadio.
I opened up my app after it updated, and I'm like, "What is this? What is why is this here? I'm not interested in this. I'm unlimited." Oh no, you're not.
Right.
Oh no! Well, wait a second, Jesse. We've got a deal for you, sir.
Yeah.
So, and if you
hey Jesse, have you heard of this thing called Napster?
Yeah. You can download all kinds of music on it. Really now.
Wow.
But so we've got all this crap happening, and that's all it is. It's just a bunch of crap.
let me vent.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Listen to this. Vent away, sir.
All right. I'm going to talk about how this rolled out. All right. Because this is, I think, the crux of my argument as to why I'm so angry at how they did this. Okay. Now, this all happens on pretty much a Friday, but it just isn't any Friday, ladies and gentlemen. This is Friday of the opening weekend for one of the biggest blockbuster movies of the year. Okay.
Correct.
Now just imagine yourself. You got yourself your movie pass. It's in your hand. You stroll up to the theater. You got your 4 friends there that are with you, ready to get in line. There's a line, folks. There's a line waiting to get in there. Everybody's waiting to pay for their ticket. You bring up your app, and all of a sudden it says, hey, you have to update your app. Okay. Now that just doesn't happen for, 2 or 3 people. That happens for thousands of people, possibly 10. Well, I don't know how many subscribers they have. We'll just go with thousands. But that happens to thousands of people all at the same time, within the same time range of like 7 to 9. All right. Their servers can't handle this. They weren't set up and they didn't understand what was going to happen. Although one would argue that you don't make this decision without knowing what's going to happen, or you're a complete and utter moron. You should not be running a company if you're doing this to people without letting them know ahead of time on one of the biggest blockbuster nights of the year. So you're sitting there with your movie pass and you've got to log in and you've got to try, number one, update your app. Okay, I'm going to try and do that. Your app is updated. This happened to me at my house. My app updated in my hand, and I was like, okay, now I got to get back in there. I want to check and see what in the world is going on. This is what tipped me all off. I had all this weird stuff going on saying I couldn't see this movie again. And I try to log into my app, and it won't let me. All right. Now picture yourself as Mr. Movie Fan waiting in line, and you can't get into your app, and you're going to have, as you slowly inch towards the ticket guy who's ready to sell you your ticket, and you're trying to log in as frantically as you can so you can check into this movie, and it doesn't happen. You have to pay full price on something that you knew ahead of time should have worked and you should have been able to use your movie pass for. So where are the failures there? The failures are it's immense. Like I said, the person that made this decision I didn't get an email. Nobody sent me an email from MoviePass saying, hey, Jesse, guess what? We're going to go ahead and we're updating our terms of service. We're also letting you know that we're updating the app, and you got to, just be ready, because if you're going to the movies Friday night, because Infinity War is getting ready, has released, you might run into some issues. You might want to go ahead and take care of that before you leave. Did not get that email. I also did not get an email telling me that, or I did not get an email on Tuesday when it really should have been done. This should have been done in the middle of the week. On a Tuesday night, they should have rolled this out and made everybody log in or update their app. At least that's my feeling. Or at least sent somebody a heads up, all your customers, and say, update your app, because Friday, when Friday rolls around, again, you want to have this done. But no, this all happens at a catastrophic time when everybody's trying to go and see this movie. And Twitter lights up. All right. Now, are you looking?
Oh, it was,
dude, all I did there I laid out on the couch and I sat there for probably 45 minutes to an hour, up till at least midnight or so, just reading tweets of people who were irate. Number one, they found out their terms of service had changed without being notified, ahead of time. Number two, they can't get in to go to their app to go watch the movie. So, this is something that a person in a boardroom sat down and decided, this is how we're going to roll this out. We're going to do this on the biggest night. Why? They couldn't do this after Infinity War? I'll tell you what, the ire, the rage would have subsided if it was like 3 weeks later and after Infinity War had dropped. They did it the night of, and that is the most idiotic move. If you're looking to really throw your app or throw your idea, your company into the trash can, you do a move like this. You do this to your customers who are going to be using your product the most at the most time, and then you get obviously the most backlash. Why did they not think this through? I really am beside myself trying to figure out, why did they make this decision? Mark, you said you read some articles. I mean, did anything shed some light as to why they did this then?
No, I don't have an answer for that. I was kind of hoping maybe Ronnie might have done some research and seen something. I've looked. I haven't seen much of anything.
Get the same cookie cutter answers.
We want you to have a different viewing experience, see different movies.
No matter who you talk to, or when you don't talk to anybody, no matter what you read, no matter what's going on, you get the same cookie cutter answer to everything. And, I even called their customer service, which was conveniently closed at the time I called them, which I don't think
they all jumped off ledges. That's probably what happened. That night, they opened up the windows and jumped.
This was much like the stock market crash back in the day. They were like, "Oh, no, we're done here," and they all jumped. But just to say, I don't understand your reasoning behind this. I mean, I have no choice but, if I want to continue to use this service, but to follow what you say. I get it, but I don't understand why you're doing this. Can you, not give me the cookie cutter answer? We want you to enjoy more movies than what, blah, blah, blah. No, screw that. I know what you want, and it's not that.
The multiple movie thing bothers me to a degree. It is really the fact that they did this on Friday night that really has my head spinning.
I see that because I had I went to go see it Friday night, and I'd already seen it Thursday. Now you gotta understand, when the tickets went on sale originally, and I think this was in March, I bought a ticket for Thursday night because I wasn't going to do the whole movie pass thing and risk not getting a seat or whatever, because I figured it was going to be a sellout. I'm like, no, I want to see it Thursday night. I want to see it in the seat I want to sit in, and I want to see it at the movie theater I want to go to, and I want to be comfortable for the first viewing. Second time I see it, it's like, I just want to I want to use my movie pass. I want to see it a second time because I had some thoughts that I needed to sit with and and everything else. And I enjoyed the movie, so I wanted to see it. So with all that said, I was willing to risk, doing the movie pass thing, and I'll just sit wherever. It doesn't really matter to me. It's the second time. I think during that showing, I even got up and went to the bathroom during the Gamora Thanos Soulstone scene. So that being said, what bothered me, without really understanding what the real motive is for all this, was you already have a contentious relationship with the theaters, especially AMC. You're now depressing the amount of times people are going to go to the theater and spend money. That's what you've done here. We just all gave examples of, we're not going to go as often. There isn't anything in the theater worth seeing versus seeing something a second time, or you have other people in your family who you want to bring to the theater, and now you're not going to because why bother? We'll just, I listen, I can wait for the Avengers to come on demand and watch it with my kids at home. This is just what we just did with The Greatest Showman. We all sat comfortably on the couch and watched it, versus the experience I had with Black Panther, which is having to take my son to the bathroom twice.
Right.
So with all that, all this isn't going to make me see different movies. This is going to make me go to the theater less. Now, what I do have, I don't know if we're ready to talk about this yet, is why they went from $50 to $10 per month.
Now that's something I couldn't really find anything on.
Okay, so I have an article.
So go for it.
This is how MoviePass plans to make money from its more than 1 million subscribers. Okay, now this came from CBSMarketWatch.com. Okay, not fake news. I swear it's it. And it was published January 2nd. Okay, which is around when I became a subscriber, when they dropped it to $10. MoviePass announced on December 20th that it surpassed 1 million subscribers. MoviePass, the $10 a month subscription service allowing moviegoers to see a film a day at cinemas, has been chewed over in Hollywood, seen as both friend and foe. The haste with which the company hit 1 million subscriber milestone, announcing on December 20th that it had done so just 4 months after lowering the subscription cost to $10 from as much as $50, suggests consumers see MoviePass's value. It took Netflix, of which MoviePass chief executive Mitch Lowe was a founding executive, and which of course began life as a DVD mail service, more than 3 years to hit 1 million subscriber mark. MoviePass has had roughly 20,000 subscribers before the price cut, but demand for the service has been much higher than chief executive Mitch Lowe expected. However, those in the industry and others following the business are concerned that MoviePass's model is unsustainable. The question is how a movie theater subscription company subsidizing its members' potentially expensive film-going habits can be profitable. Okay, here's where the plot thickens. Okay. It's about the data, said Ted Farnsworth, chief executive of Helios and Mathesis Analytics Incorporated, which owns a majority stake in MoviePass. Helios and Matheson shares have been on a tear since the company took its majority position in August. Shares are up about 102% since that time. The stock has been volatile too, reaching an intraday high of $38.86 per share in October, but closing Thursday at $6.90 per share. What was it, the WWE? Jesus. Short seller Andrew Left warned retail investors in October that Helios and Matheson shares would fall back to $20 and that MoviePass would never be a $1 billion company. I'm not worried about it, Farnsworth told MarketWatch. He's a short seller, so he's going to cover his squeeze, but the bottle will stand on its own. Some critics of the MoviePass business are concerned the company won't be able to make money and will flame out, further hurting already troubled theater chains, and that it will have to raise subscription prices and drive users away. So here we go. When Helios and Matheson acquired MoviePass, the company also cut the price from as much as $50 a month to $9.95, but is still shelling out the full price of tickets to studios and movie theaters. According to the National Association of Theater Owners, the average cost of a single movie ticket is $8.65 in 2016. And double that figure in some major U.S. cities. All right, I'm trying to get to where they say the point of this is. Okay, here we go. And now I've said that a third time, but I for real this time. The deal from our side and why we're excited is we still get paid the full price of the admission. If this succeeds in driving attendance, it will pay for itself, said Chris Aronson, head of distribution at 20th Century Fox. And they've made no secret that their goal is to mine data from subscribers. We'd be very interested in that. All right, so let me stop there for a second. The whole point of MoviePass at this point is to generate data of moviegoers, which I think is why they don't want people. They don't want you seeing Avengers 50 times. It doesn't really tell them anything other than people like the Avengers, which they already knew. If essentially if you're given a free pass to go to the movies, they can learn movie-going habits, what the vast majority of people will go see when the price is zero. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If nobody has to pay for a ticket, so you have this vast array of movies to see, then what do people see? Because they already know people will go see the big budget blockbusters. But what else will people go see? And that goes back to what are we going to greenlight as far as movie productions? Do people go see movies now because of the actors in them or because of the genre? Do people go, a movie like I, Tonya, for example, is this something people are interested in? Will people go see a mockumentary style comedy about a defamed ice skater? You don't know. You won't know unless you get a sample size of people going to the movies, and you take out the variable of price by giving them a free ticket, essentially. All right, what is your?
I get that. All right, but
hang on. I want to know why Jesse's yelling at me. Why are you yelling at me, Jesse?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they're looking for data, okay,
to sell. Okay, I want to be clear about that. The MoviePass is trying to generate data sets to sell to movie studios.
Yes.
All right, so. Then what is why can't they get why can't this same data be gathered by ticket sales that are minus Movie Pass in the first place? It's been done for years.
Okay, but you're also talking about then the variable of the price of the ticket. There are people who won't go to the movies, but in other words, if there's a movie out there that people are willing to go see, okay, 100 people are interested in Star Wars, right? 50% of those people will go see the movie if the price point is $10. 75% will go if it's $5. 100% will go if it's $0. This is what so what they're trying to.
I was going to say, are movie studios having an issue with ticket price, or are we talking theaters having issues with ticket prices?
Well, theaters are having problems trying to get people in the goddamn door.
Yeah.
But so here's the problem that we got to remember. But it was like a year or two ago. I think it was like the worst year in theater history. Theater chains are closing. They're facing they're another one facing the retail apocalypse, and then we're going to be on the Screaming Boy podcast talk about the rise and fall of the movie theater.
That's so true.
The Screaming Boy podcast. You're home for things that once were awesome and now are gone.
Oh wow, yeah, that's where
we start with your childhood, and then
hey, did you like a thing? Listen to Screaming Boy talk about how it's gone now. Tune in next week when we talk about Subway. Anyway,
well, there's not much to miss there.
That's true. But no, what I'm saying is the movie studios and theaters are trying to figure out how to get people to stop watching shit at home.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying, Jesse? So you're the problem, Jesse Starcher.
Sure.
Okay. You understand that? You don't go to the theater?
cheap guy that doesn't go to the theater.
Yeah. It's people like you that are costing people jobs in Hollywood and at theater chains across the United States. Okay, it's your cheap ass.
They didn't lose my money if they didn't have it to begin with.
But you used to go.
Well, and
then you stopped going. And why did you stop going? Because the movies are now available with the click of a button on your high definition big screen TV.
I do have a lot more options.
So you can now, and I'm picking at you just because you're on the podcast, but I mean, you can be anybody. Okay, here's what I mean. I remember having this conversation with somebody who bought like bootleg videos. Again, if you grow up on the streets of New York, you see the sort of thing all the time. There's the guy out there with a blanket full of movies of varying qualities. And I remember talking to somebody like, you ever take a date to the movie theater? It's $100 night because you have to buy because the tickets are $20.
It really is.
And then the popcorn, because you can't not have popcorn. I mean, I know I cannot have popcorn, believe it or not. I can go into a theater and just watch a movie and leave. The only time I tend to buy concessions is if I go right after work and I basically am eating at the theater for dinner.
Right.
Like when I went
popcorn is usually my dinner if I get.
Right. Or I get like 2 hot dogs and a Mountain Dew. Because I'm trying to get the diabetes.
Well,
dietary
Mountain Dew when you got to have diabetes.
When you gotta have the beaties.
But
Sugarfoot.
But I remember I went to go see Rampage on a Sunday morning. Guess what I didn't buy any of? Concessions.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I remember this guy was like, you take a girl out on a date. Like if I go with my wife, for example, we're always getting popcorn, whether I want it or not. We're getting popcorn. We're always getting drinks. It's always a thing. So by the time you got out of the movie theater, you spent like $50 to $100, depending on how much shit you bought.
Well, let's just put it this way: how much is a ticket in your local theater, Jesse?
8. If you're going at regular like 7 o'clock,
regular 7 o'clock date night,
$8.50.
Okay.
What?
Mark?
Well, hang on. Dolby, IMAX, 3D. Those are all different.
We're talking regular old. Shoot, I better be married to the girl if I'm taking her to IMAX. We're talking regular old 2D.
Ronnie just hands her the ticket. She's like, "Oh, I guess I'm putting out tonight." Jesus.
He gets a card and everything, puts it in the envelope. She opens it up. There's 2 IMAX tickets. We're going to the next level.
This is your way of asking me to marry you.
I thought Ronnie was going to ask me to move in. I thought Ronnie was going to ask me to move in. No, it turns out he was just taking me to an IMAX show.
Right. So we're talking regular 2D. So Mark, how much is a regular 2D ticket in your area?
Let's go with $10.
$10. Mine is $10 here. So 2 tickets is $10. You buy concessions, and that's more or less $30. Because if you buy a popcorn to share, 2 drinks, and some candy, you don't want to go cheap if you're dating. So that's $30. I paid $4 for a pack of Chewy Sweet Tarts the other night, and I say, I'll just take a pack of Chewy Sweet Tarts, and she was like $4, and I said, for what? And
at one point, Ronnie dropped his pants because he assumed a blowjob was coming next.
Lord. No, I was just like, man, and she just laughed at me. I said, I don't mean to be the normal complaint about concessions prices, because I know you hear that all the time, but dang. She goes, I know. And so it was $4 for a box of candy that I could have got at the Five Below for $1. The dollar store. So
right there, you can see where theaters are making their money. That's
right.
where they make their
money. They don't make money on the movies.
Off the movies.
Right. They make money on the $1,000 markup on the fucking popcorn.
Yeah.
Right. So okay. So you're talking, a $50 to $75 night just to go out to the movies. So we want some relief from that. So at least let us get, $10 out of it. My gosh. If I'm going to go see, a big blockbuster movie like this, I want to go by myself at least one time. If I go with a bunch of friends, I'm not going to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because chances are they're going to be talking to me. I'm going to be talking to them, not out like, whispering or whatever. Or somebody's going to have some questions or something. If I go with my mom and dad, there's going to be questions galore. Oh, who's that? You just saw him. That's Captain America.
Is this a true story?
He has a big shield with a star on it. Well, who's that? Dad, I don't have time to explain who Thanos is. Just know that he's the bad guy.
My God, okay. It's like going to the movies with my children.
So they're not that bad, but they are. But so I want to go by myself, and these big movies. And I'm not just talking about Avengers, Star Wars, all this other stuff. I wanted to see A Quiet Place again. Mainly because that movie is so silent when you're watching it, you can hear people chewing.
Oh yeah, dude.
And it's so distracting. So I wanted to go when the movie's about out, when I know the theaters are going to be empty, and just watch it. And just, I can hear myself chewing. I wanted to punch my own throat.
Well, I want to go back to Jesse's big objection with the whole data argument, because again, if you control for price, you might be able to get a clearer picture as to people's viewing habits, which I think goes back to, and this was the whole point of this sidebar. Why are they now saying don't go to the, because they're not going to learn anything they didn't already know if most of the people are using their movie pass to see Black Panther and Avengers 10 times in a row.
So are you going to try and tell me that the movie studios are going to reduce prices to try and get more people in there? Is that their goal?
No, we're talking about Movie Pass though. Movie Pass is the one that did this. Movie Pass. Right. Movie Pass is again trying to use its membership and their viewing habits to create data to sell back, and that's where they make their money. They're not making money off the $10 Jesse Starcher paid for the card. They're trying to say that they want to see what Jesse and Kira and Mark and Ronnie and all the movies that we watch, and they're saying, okay, let's extrapolate that data. Let's create some projections. Let's sell that. Let's sell all of that to Disney, and then Disney's going to look at it and go, okay, clearly making A Wrinkle in Time where Reese Witherspoon turns into romaine lettuce is a bad idea. People won't go see it. Let's not do that again.
Again, that's all to me. That's all data they already have access to. That people have already went and saw. Yeah, I don't understand how
because if they're just giving you Movie Pass data, people who have the service who now don't have to pay for the price of a ticket and have unlimited access essentially to a 2D movie. What did they go see? In other words, think about how this discussion started.
I'm controlling my finances if I don't use Movie Pass.
We had a rate at to which we went to the movies. Okay, it differed. You were a low rate. I was a high rate. Ronnie was like a medium rate. We'll say. Okay, I don't think Ronnie went as often as I was going.
I tapered off and then started back again, and then I got Movie Pass.
Okay, so because I went every week, almost every week last year for one reason or another. Because of Damn You Hollywood. Okay. Now they're saying, okay, well, there's 3 potential users of theaters. Let's all give them. Let's all see what happens when price point is no longer an issue. Take the variable of ticket price out of there. Now the rate at which Jesse goes to the movies increases. Mark probably stays the same, only increases a little bit. Ronnie increases moderately from where he was. Now we have all of these people all going to the movies a lot more than they ever did. Let's take that data and see what they did with it. That's valuable.
Yeah, minus Movie Pass, I'm controlling my finances and I'm controlling what I want to see. I would rather pay for 2 tickets to Avengers than go see Avengers and I Feel Pretty with Amy Potato Face Schumer. But if there's nothing else left and I'm bored at home and I know that I'm not paying for that ticket, I might go see Potato Face.
Because here's the thing. Again, you're talking about statistics. And in statistics, there are certain, there are, you want to have certain controls. What Movie Pass does is it allows them a data set that controlled for price, where price was no longer an issue. Okay, here, let me finish reading this. Okay, that's exactly what Farnsworth and Movie Pass is lower banking on. Making money, putting people in theater is fine, but also think about the advertising side, Farnsworth said. We're the only company out there that can tell companies exactly who and when people are going to the movies. If Movie Pass is able to prove that it can drive incremental box office revenue to studios and cinemas, Lowe said, the company can strike deals to share in the revenue from those sales as well as concessions. So the other thing they're looking to do is get a P. Is they're saying, look, see how much we drove Jesse to the theater when he previously wasn't willing to go? Great. We want a portion of the shit you're trying to sell him at your movie.
Yeah.
That could then lead to studios paying Movie Pass to promote films to its users.
That I understand. That part right there, I understand.
Movie Pass has experimented with this already and found that 18% of users go to the movies after prompting by the Movie Pass app. Farnsworth and Lowe said they want to partner with restaurants located near cinemas and possibly even with Uber to get users to ride to the theater. It's all about capitalizing on a night out of the movies, Farnsworth said. So there you go.
Get to the part where they talk about the morons that do a change like this on the biggest night of 2018. Because that guy, they obviously left that out of the article. Our company is ran by idiots.
Hang on. So I started to type in why Movie Pass and it prompted is bad.
First suggestion right there on Google. I mean, I understand the data part, I guess. I can understand that can be valuable. It obviously isn't valuable enough to where these guys can't restrict it now to get new signups for 4 movies a month. Just like you said, now we're driving, if you're going to be data based and you're restricting the amount of movies that somebody can go to now per month if you're a new sign up, you have really narrowed down the sample size of what these people are going to pick. So maybe, I mean, that could be a point. I mean, are we a part of a big experiment here, Mark? Is that what I'm getting from this article?
Maybe.
One big movie going experiment so they can get data?
Let me tell you, getting data and buying habits is big business.
I understand.
And a company that creates data sets for the purposes of marketing is huge. So it's like so Movie Pass loses money on the tickets, but it's trying. Hang on.
Okay.
Stupid ad. I'm on time.com/money right now. Like an ad just jumped up and started talking. In any case, but again, so Movie Pass part of the reason they switched from unlimited movies per month to 4 movies is they are losing money on paying for the tickets. But again, the object is to over the long haul make money off selling the data sets, but they got to actually create them first.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, they're just bleeding money is part of
that. Here, that whole move that they made where because Ronnie, weren't they restricted at first to where you couldn't see a movie twice, and then they changed it to where they opened it up and they said, okay, you can see as many movies as you want, and as long as it's just one movie a day, we don't care. And then that really was a draw to me.
I remember that because some people call me crazy but I remember that.
Yeah, it was. They had it closed down, I think, locked down like that until August of last year. And then they opened it back up and they said any movie, any day, just one movie a day. And then, so that right there was a draw to me, to Mark, to just about anybody. That is shady. They did that, I think, specifically knowing at some point they're going to have to go back down. They drew in so many subscribers at that point in time. So many came in.
So here's the answer. According to the website here, or according to the CEO, and I'm getting this from Slashdot, so maybe fake news. I don't know. But it says, CEO Mitch Lowe said the rules reinstatement is to cut down on fraud. When we took that policy down, we saw some people turning MoviePass into a cottage industry, standing in front of a theater, selling their tickets to Star Wars or whatever.
Couldn't see that happening. Couldn't see that coming ahead of time.
Lowe said that also. Stop yelling at me.
I'm not yelling at you.
You were hostile tonight, sir.
Yeah, really. The disapproving dad is the hostile dad tonight. Jesus.
I'm pissed.
Lowe also said that the new feature are in the works, including couples plans and options that include 3D and IMAX movies. So there's your short answer, Mr. Starter, sir. Please don't hit me. It's because they don't want you to essentially go see the Avengers and then show up at the theater the next day. Though I don't know, do people have that kind of time? Because I don't. I don't have the time to stand and sell one ticket to the Avengers. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it could
You'd be surprised.
I mean,
one ticket. I have one thing for sale, people. One.
I'd be lying if it didn't cross my mind to be like, hey, yo, $5, I'll go get you a ticket if you want. I didn't do that. I understood how easy it was to do something like that.
You're why we can't have nice things, Starter.
Really?
Yeah, I'm the reason. I'm the reason. Go right ahead. Hoobastank me all up. This is... Nah, that was a Hoobastank reference, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that was.
And we'll be reviewing the new Hoobastank later on this year on the Metal Hammer of Doom on the Radulich Broadcasting Network.
That's right. Smooth like butter. Smooth like butter.
Not time yet.
I could see the ease of doing that. But again, you are a $1 million company that makes these decisions. You couldn't see that coming initially. No, you did. You knew it was going to happen, and you let it happen. And in order and open up all this stuff, how do you not know that that's not going to happen? You open up all this so you get all these subscribers in, and that's what makes me think that this company is just, it's horribly run. It's either horribly run or it's very, very deceptive, which is a lot of companies in the United States.
I've heard the term bait and switch used a lot.
Over and over on Twitter. Bait and switch. There is a as to how far this goes, or even if it's a legitimate claim, because supposedly their terms of service state that they could change the terms of service at any time that they want. But there is a Twitter out there for a class action lawsuit against MoviePass. Now, as to whether that holds any water,
that's ridiculous.
I don't know, but they have got a lot of people that have joined up on that Twitter in order to say, hey, we disagree with the fact that you changed these terms of service like you did. And it feels like a bait and switch tactic.
Trust me, I get it. I really do. I just think, all right, so all of a sudden one day, I get a thing that says Mark Radulich has added you to MoviePass fan club.
Oh God! By the way, I officially left that group today. They're like, these people are a bunch of assholes.
I want to go in here. Go in.
So I'm like, okay, so what's this? Basically, it's a lot of people complaining over nothing. They just whine a lot, and they're conspiracy. I mean, they are the movie equivalent of conspiracy theorists. It is sad. It is so sad to read some of the stuff that they have. But anyway, they are they come across as very entitled as well. You know, as far as the way what MoviePass is doing, what it should be doing for them. Da 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 da. No one is making you spend your money on this. No one is making you subscribe to this. You can leave at any time you want. And that, I'm sure, is how they look at it. Nobody's making you do this. We're providing a service. And I get that. And I get people being upset.
I would have hated to be the guy that signed up for a year's worth of this a couple months ago. I mean,
but the thing about it is his service doesn't change.
Hey, I want to read this real quick. This comes from all right. This comes from Wired.com, not fake news. From the start. Okay. MoviePass's most likely allies have been independent studios, the kind for whom an incremental box office uptick can turn a break-even investment into a success. Those are the kinds of movies MoviePass subscribers go to, after all. It's easier to take a flyer on The Shape of Water if the ticket is effectively free. But the challenge for MoviePass isn't merely to demonstrate its value to studios. The company needs to show that it can directly influence subscriber behavior through marketing maneuvers, whether in in-app or through email or social media. So there you go. That's another thing we haven't talked about yet, is that, and this goes directly to, so now let's talk about time. Time is a variable, okay? There's only X amount of time. Three individuals with different life things going on have to go to the movies. So if that time is fixed, only, let's say, X amount of time per month to see a movie. With the options the way they were before, you decide, I'm going to fill up that time by just seeing the Avengers. Okay, it says, okay, well, we don't want you to do that anymore. We want you to see other things because we will get money back if you go see Having Sex with Water. Okay?
Which is basically what that movie was.
All right. So if the studio that put out Having Sex with Water gives a kickback to MoviePass, I wonder if there's somebody listening to this podcast going, I was taking the discussion seriously until he kept referring to Oscar nominees Shape of Water as Having Sex with Water repeatedly.
Well, a lot of people have seen it and said the exact
pretty
same
much
thing.
the same thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, so if they get a kickback from a studio because they generated traffic, then again, it really is worth it to MoviePass to stop you from seeing the Avengers 20 times. When again, it's not making any money. Disney is not giving a kickback to fucking MoviePass.
No, they aren't. No.
They don't give a shit. However, Lionsgate or STX or some of these other smaller movie studios, and at the rate they're going, Sony, are all like, you know what, we would love to give you a portion of the money we'll make back on the people who went to go see our shit movies, because they wouldn't have before.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I get why you're aggravated, and I get why what's more of pushing your aggravation is they chose to do this on Avengers weekend and like the day of, and not maybe a few weeks before or a few weeks after. Because I don't think you'd be as aggravated if this was done April 1st instead of April 27th.
Could you have imagined what I would have been like if I would have been that guy standing in line and then couldn't get into that movie theater?
Well, what I'm saying is, like, if they did this change April 1st, and you had several weeks to
I agree.
Would you be this angry?
No, I wouldn't have. And that makes me lose that much faith in this company, all the more, because you do this knowing you're going to be making your fans, the people who vocalized and said, hey, I support this company. They have a great deal. Check them out. I gifted a subscription. I went halvesies.
Oh, I look like a complete moron to you guys.
Well, no, you, Ronnie, if I would have found out about this, I would have done the same thing you did. I would have went to you guys and said, hey, I don't know if you, if you enjoy this Movie Pass thing or not, but man, I tell you what, I've been using it for the past couple weeks and it's great. But if you do this at the biggest time where you can, you're going to incur the biggest wrath of your subscriber base. You're just incompetent. But you're right, Mark. If they would have done this a couple weeks before, a couple weeks after, I would have been upset. But at that point in time, I could have been okay. Well, yeah, I'm mad. I'm definitely wouldn't be as mad as I am today. So, I understand getting a kickback from studios. That was an article, a similar article that I read probably about a month or so ago, and they ran before they walked, in my opinion. This should have been spaced out and probably done at a little bit slower pace to try and get in either good with the movie theaters and the studios themselves and try to figure out a way to make this work.
Okay, here's the thing though. The numbers count. So if it only has X amount of subscribers, they're not really as valuable to these movie studios as they are with 10. If prior to the $10 change, right, from $50 to $10, they only had X amount of subscribers. Then the $10 change comes. Now they have 10X.
Yep.
Now they're much more valuable. But now but again, are you? Let's be frank about this. Am I going to drop Movie Pass? No. Are my parents dropping Movie Pass? No. Are you going to drop Movie Pass, Ronnie?
No.
Are you going to drop it, Jesse?
I am considering it.
Because you're angry, or because you no longer think the service is valuable?
It is. You have to look at it.
There's no right answer. He's going to get you any way you go.
Well, look, you've already talked about my movie viewing habits as being on the lower end of the spectrum. I've already come on here and said I'm a cheap bastard. So if you're looking at me and saying, okay, Jesse, are you really going to use this as much as you would have had it been unlimited to review things? See, the thing is, it doesn't change with me a whole lot other than I just can't go view a movie twice. Well, that kind of just, it wipes out me using it, having my daughter use it to go watch the same movie if she wanted to do it on another day. Is that a horribly unreasonable change? I don't know. But here, with the plan that I have right now, I don't know if I go see. I was trying to figure out. I think I was going like 2 movies a month, which is just about, that's still a good deal. All right. So is it a good deal? It probably still is. Is it something that I want to continue to pay for? This is a company that did this on Friday night of the biggest blockbuster. Okay. Right. You have to think about, who are you giving money to, Mark?
So Jesse is
give it to the bum on the street. Save your $10 a month. Go give it to the bum on the street. He's going to get a better time out of it, and you may feel a little bit more gratified about the fact that you helped somebody get drunk that night, and your money went to a better cause than some.
I don't want to help anybody get drunk. I want to watch movies.
Some crappy capitalistic nut jobs. Go ahead.
So there's 3 of us on this podcast, and one of us is somehow having a meltdown, and is probably going to drop the service. And I'm pretty sure they factored that into the math, that maybe 10%, which is what Jesse represents here, 10% of no, actually it would be 33%, 1/3 of the people, and that's probably high. I'm probably closer to 10%. Are going to drop the service because they're mad or because they, whatever the reasons are. Maybe they have a situation where they're sharing it with their child. And like I said, well, what if both of us want to go see the same movie? No, now we can't fuck this service. Okay, got it.
What if
I'm looking at a thing that says Zodiac habits and Gemini, not giving the other person a chance to speak. Bad now.
What if they do the whole 4 movie thing to you guys?
Honestly, there's 4 weeks in a movie. I go once a week. It's not going to change anything for me.
No. Okay. All right. So that's not going to change anything for you. You know, again, the company could change that at a whim and do it again just like this, or they could make it even worse. And that's what really upsets me, is the fact that they could make this the terms of service. They could change it on a whim, and they could make this deal not even a deal. Imagine being locked into
what are they going to do to make it worse? Make you join a human centipede?
2 movies a month. All right, they come into you. Okay, we're only going to do 2 movies a month now.
Well, by that time, they're going to lose everybody, because 2 movies a month for $10 a month. I mean, that's not.
It's still a deal.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. At 2 movies a month, I'm not paying for the service anymore.
Oh, $10. So you're paying $10 for 2 movies a month, where you just said one ticket costs you $10.50. So you're saving $1. It's still a deal.
It's not really worth it to me. But I think they've factored that in, that if they take away too many movies, then it isn't. If they take away too many movies, then it isn't really worth, the service isn't really worth it to most people. I'm sure they have data that backs that up. That, you know, how they settled on 4 was they probably figured most people aren't going multiple times in a week. They're going once a week. So they figure they're going to see whatever the new movie is that week. So sure, there are people who see it more. Maybe there are people who see it less. They figured the magic number was 4.
I see where you're coming from. That company lost $150 million last year. Helios, $150 million loss.
The numbers aren't good for them.
Yeah, I mean, they took a bet with a $10 a month thing on figuring they're going to get more people. But again, as I said before, more people means they're a more valuable company to people who want their data, or people who see them as another arm to market their movies. Because remember, now, you know, let's just take Disney as an example. You know, if Disney says, "Hey, you know, we put out this movie with Oprah Winfrey and recently with a student playing a piece of romaine lettuce. It did terrible. Maybe we'll give you 10% of anything past, you know, this certain date if you start promoting the movie to MoviePass people, and MoviePass people start going, hey, I remember Oprah. I'm going to go see A Wrinkle in Time." That only matters if you have the numbers, because not everyone's going to do it anyway. That only matters if you have great numbers of people to promote to.
Top 5 tweets. Just type in MoviePass, hit search. Here we go. We'll go 5 to 1. All right, you guys ready? Let me make sure I'm counting 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, here we go. Andrew D for at Really Doomed on Twitter. This is not okay. I purchased my movie pass with the understanding I can see my favorite movie more than once. In fact, here is your tweet saying as much. This is bait and switch. And he references a picture that says, yep, you can see your favorite film again and again and again. That was August 15th, 2017. And then we have Larry McDonald sharing the same tweet, and it just says, if you make a promise, keep it. Then we have Martin Tiller. So MoviePass just said you can't see a movie more than once. How do we find out about it? In an app update, not an email or another announcement. The customer service of this company just keeps winning. And then we have MoviePass class action. If you would like to organize a class action suit against MoviePass, please contact us. MoviePass has pulled off a deceptive bait and switch tactic on their customers. Then number 1 from Demi IGBD, another word.
What? Are you having a stroke?
That is his last thing.
I think it's finally hit him. Oh my gosh.
Speaking of updates, Jesse Starcher, update your software. You're melting down.
He's at Electro Lemon. I can do that a little bit easier. Glad I got MoviePass while it was still unlimited. It's like a subscription service that lets me increase Black Panther's global box office by a whole $15 every time I want to use the nicest bathroom at the mall.
Terrific.
All right. There you go.
Wow.
So, that's just a taste. That is a taste. If you go into latest, I mean, it's like every 30 seconds, somebody is railing against this company. So, all right, I'm done ranting. Mark has brought the logic. I understand the logic. I have brought the anger. I hope you understand my anger. Ronnie Adams, you brought the podcast. Is there anything else left to talk about?
I'm here. No, I'm not happy with the service as far as it changing. I'm happy with the service is what it's offering. 30 movies a month is nothing to sneeze at. Now, are there 30 movies in that month that I want to see? Absolutely not. I don't want to see Potato Face in her new movie. I don't want, and I will forever call her that because I cannot stand her.
I'm guessing that's Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me, I just took a drink of water.
Hang on. I'm gonna help you with this. Okay. Let's.
Okay.
Because I have the calendar right in front of me. Let's see if you're on the damn you Hollywood calendar that I'm on.
Okay.
All right. So they moved Avengers from May 4th to April 27th, which means there's nothing this week that's worth the shit to see. The 11th, I don't believe there's anything either. But Deadpool is the 18th. Solo is the 25th. June 1st is nothing. No, Action Point. That's the Action Point is the live stunt.
Oh yeah,
where what's his face from
Jackass.
Jackass.
What? Wait a minute. I missed something. I haven't heard about this.
Okay, so Johnny Knoxville of Jackass fame, or asshole, whatever you like.
Who called it that?
Mark couldn't figure out the name. Went with the next best thing, which it should have been called that. I would have loved for it to have been called that on MTV.
I'm such an old man. You know those asshole guys. Okay, so Action
Point. Mark Radulich.
Get off my lawn. Johnny Knoxville owns like a shitty theme park. Like I don't know if you remember in the New Jersey area, like a water park. I think it was called like Action Park. And it was a lot of like natural water things, and there was like ropes, and you swung into the water and shit like that, and there were water slides. Awesome. Yeah. It's something like that, only the whole park is like broken down. So the premise is like they have to make the park, they have to get people to come back to the park again, or it's going to close. It's going to be overtaken by this other like corporate park. And so they try to like upgrade things, but what it turns into is a series of silly stunts where Johnny Knoxville keeps hurting his nuts.
Of course it does.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's on my list of movies to see, but we're not reviewing it because why would I do that? June 8th is Ocean's 8. June 15th is The Incredibles 2. June 22nd is Jurassic World 2. June 29th is nothing that I can see. Let's see here. July 6th is Ant-Man and the Wasp, I believe. Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay, I can take this off my calendar now. Hey, folks, I just want to make sure I tell everyone on the podcast we're no longer going to Georgia.
What?
I'm going through my calendar, and I happen to have written on my calendar that we were going to Georgia.
Because this is good. This is good cast right here. I like it.
Well, he brings out the schedule.
Yeah. How did I let you bring out the schedule on my show? So,
all right, hang on. Ant-Man and the Wasp is July 6th. Skyscraper with The Rock, which is essentially Die Hard with one leg, is July 13th. There's nothing on the 20th. Mission Impossible Fallout is the 27th. Christopher Robin is the 3rd. And The Meg is the 10th, and that's pretty much the end of like wall-to-wall, week-to-week movies. I mean, so how many of those, as I read through them, do you think you'll end up seeing?
Pretty much all of them.
There you go. See, it's not really worth getting rid of the service.
Right. Not at all. But will I go see Deadpool a couple of times?
Yes. You would have.
I would have.
Mm-hmm. Now, who's losing out on that? Not Movie Pass, apparently. The theater is. Because you're not going.
Right. My kids want me to take them to go see Deadpool. It's not going to happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Now, thanks to Movie Pass, I won't take my 7-year-old and my 4-year-old to go see Deadpool. How do you like that?
They're encouraging great parenting.
Wow.
Good. Yeah. I don't know. The end result of all this, I believe, is going to be. I really think that the theaters will they'll feel it, and they will realize the power that MoviePass had at that price point, and they'll be like, "Whoa, wait a second! How come things have definitely died down?" And I don't know if
there was definitely a resurgence of people going to the movies with this.
Absolutely.
Because I went to when I first got it. I got some buddies that work at the theater, and I don't want to rat on them or anything, but every once in a while,
sorry,
they're not Tony,
and he lives at 411 Ridgeway
right
in Charlotte, North Carolina.
But which is a long way to go see a movie for me. I
don't know where the hell you live.
Oh, shut up. But he would give me, every once in a while they'd sneak me in if it wasn't busy, they'd do like a seniors discount or a college discount or something like that, and which I really appreciated, and but when I pulled out my MoviePass to pay for it, I was like, really, you don't have to do that, because he goes, oh, you got MoviePass. I'm not doing that. Charge him full price, and which, I didn't care because, it's MoviePass.
Yeah, you're paying for the service.
Right. And I get that. But man, it's just, I don't understand. I just, I forgot where I was going with this too.
No, you're not going to go back in there for a second viewing, and
right,
that theater.
No, that's where I was.
Yeah,
that's where it was. I asked them. I said, have you seen many of these come through? And he's like, yeah. He goes, I have one, and I see movies for free. And I was like, man, I said, you're just kind of throwing $10 to the wind there. He goes, yeah, but I keep it in case I go to another theater.
Exactly.
Or I go out with some. I was like, wow. But now that that they've done this, and less people are going to be signing up, and more people are going to be dropping, you could probably go back in within a month or so and say, hey, have you seen, a research, attendance dying down here? And he'll probably say yes. It's just going to be the guys that, like us, that got in on the, one movie a day thing for $10 a month. It's going to be us that keeps it. That are still going. It's going to be those few and proud that have that service. Even though we can't go see Deadpool twice or the Avengers twice.
Yeah, I really think that money that MoviePass was paying out for that extra movie that we were going to go see, the theater's not going to get that anymore, and that's going to be felt by the theater.
Listen, MoviePass, and I don't mean to talk over you. I'm sorry. Listen, MoviePass, for as smart as you think you are for doing this stuff, and I get why you're doing it. I'm not taking anything away from why you're doing it. I'm all about the rules, and I understand that you want people to follow them. But for as smart as you think you are with this stuff, people are smarter because they're being more devious about it now, and you force their hands to do, to find a way around these things. Because I myself has said, well, what's to stop me from going in, tearing my ticket, taking a picture of the stub, and then returning it for another movie?
Mm-hmm.
Which would not show up on their radar at all.
Yeah,
so if I go in,
tell you how many people suggested just buying, the ticket to Potato Face and then going into Infinity War anyway.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's no.
She has a name, fellas. Could you be a little woke here? My goodness, Amy Schumer
and
millions of people throughout the world.
Radulich, you're the one that says broad and chick and everything else. So you don't tell me what to call Potato Face Schumer because I don't enjoy her and I think she has a potato face.
She has a name.
She has a name. I don't care.
Leave Amy Schumer alone.
She's the only Amy Schumer is one of the few comics I've heard get booed just by sharing her politics at her own show. Her fans booed her. She is bad. She steals jokes and she makes bad movies and bad life decisions. One time, there was a picture as a meme I saw that said, when Amy Schumer was a little girl, she had a dream of becoming a comedian, and everyone laughed at her. Well, she became that comedian, and no one's laughing now. And it's the truth.
You thought I was mad about MoviePass. Get him started on Amy Schumer.
Right? Amy Schumer and Kathy Griffin, and pretty much any female comic, because they're not funny. Wow, I just lost a lot of listeners. I apologize.
Movie Boy Podcast.
Hey, listen, I don't know about you, but I'm on Damn You Hollywood right now.
No, you're not. There's no Winfrey here telling you that everything is terrible.
Did Winfrey get MoviePass? That reminds me, because he sounded like he was kind of like on the fence.
No, he said it was terrible.
No, he didn't think that there would be a theater in his area where that would support it. Number one, number two, I think he ends up going on like half price Tuesdays. So
good enough.
But anyway, okay. So, but that being said, I could just go and buy it and return the ticket and go see what I want, or just walk into the theater and see what I want. But that hurts the theater in the long run. And I don't want to do that, but I just, man, there's so many things that there's so many points to each side that I see. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory, much like that Facebook group says it is.
Can you tell me what the conspiracy is, please? I'd like to know. Like I dropped out when I complained about it, and then I got yelled at from complaining about it, and then someone said, people need to stop coming into this group. This is a group for people who love MoviePass, and you're taking away from our enjoyment of it. And I jerked off on my phone, and I got out of the group. I was like, I'm done with this.
These are the people that wanted Mark Radulich to change the title of Damn You Hollywood to Dang You Hollywood. It's ridiculous.
Fooey on you, Hollywood.
Fooey on you. Fiddlesticks, Hollywood. But no, there's always somebody. I don't know why they picked on you, because there's always somebody here. Well, I quote unquote randomly got chosen to take pictures of my stuff. I think it's they're just zeroing in on people and pointing, picking people out of everyone and want to get rid of us. And blah, blah. I'm like, they don't know who you are. You are a number to them. You are a cash symbol. They don't care about you, and it's just, there's a lot of silliness in that group that boils down to them thinking that MoviePass wants to destroy everybody.
What?
And rule the world. Yeah.
I feel like you're being facetious. You have to tell me what. A little
bit facetious. Okay. I'll do you one better. Let's go to MoviePass fans. Well, first of all, there's one of the first things on there is, anybody here have cinema in a MoviePass fan thing? With MoviePass new rules, I'm going to be canceling. I've been looking at cinema, but the only thing I don't like is there's no monthly billing.
There's got to be like 100 comments of people just telling him to go jump off a bridge or something. Right. This is a place. How dare you commit sacrilege?
There are 54 comments.
Oh, jeez.
Which we won't go through. Just so MoviePass changed it back to only being able to see a certain movie once. Can someone confirm? Is this true? We can only watch one movie per week? Somebody.
God, these people sound like my son when I tell him I'm not reading him a story at night. He'll just start screaming "no story" over and over again. No story? No story. It's not fair. No story.
I find this new TNC change pretty interesting. You can only watch you can only watch a movie once now, which I get. It's probably very necessary to keep MoviePass in business. How? I just wonder if the huge number of Black Panther tickets bought led to this. Since they did this right at the release of Avengers, I'm sure the sales of Avengers Infinity War, would be double that of Black Panther. This guy needs to go back to school and learn grammar and punctuation. I'm personally not too TO mad. I have no problem paying OUTTA, OUTTA, out of pocket to watch a film twice. just man, they had to do it right at the release of Avengers. A week into the release would have been great, but on the day of release sounds planned.
Hey,
all right.
I'll carry that guy's flag.
Please
Calm
do,
down,
and you will have no more friend. One, because you're backing a guy that sounds like he took a huff of paint before he wrote this.
Give me that phone. I got something to say.
Yeah, exactly. Did anyone else get a second email about beta testing?
There's your beta
another
testing.
big one, though I've been part of it for a few weeks now. Does more customer supports? More, I can see them wanting to cap repeat movies. I just wish they did the following: cap it before Avengers. Let people at least see the movie twice. There's just all kinds of stuff on here. They think they know what's going on. They think just because they have the card in their hands makes them shareholders and best friends with the CEO. No, this is why they did it. No, this is why they did it. I bet they did it because of this. It's all like conspiracy theory-esque. It's not as far as they think that like MoviePass is a religious cult or they're going to take over the world or anything like that. It's just the fact that they think that they're doing this for any reason other than money. That they're trying to have some sway on what the movie theaters show you or anything like that. No, MoviePass doesn't care. They just want to sell the data to everybody else so they can judge what you see and everything else. MoviePass does not care. They just want to make money. And then somebody asked what time Peter Rabbit was playing. And then I asked him, why is he asking? I quoted, he said, does anybody know when Peter Rabbit's still playing? And I said, why are you asking a group of people that are from all over the U.S.? Would it be, it would have taken just as much time just to Google Peter Rabbit on your phone than it would have taken to type this. And then I realized I was dealing with an idiot, and I quit.
Oh, wow.
Hey, does anybody in the country know what time Peter Rabbit?
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I can't get air.
Lord.
Stop, I gotta get air.
What state you live in, sir? California. Hold on, I've got that listing right here. What movie theater do you want? Oh, jeez. What? Really, when it should have gone. Hey, what? Do y'all know what time Peter Rabbit's playing? What state do you live in?
I would have told him.
I live in Montana. They call a theater in Montana, you idiot.
I would have just told him anytime between 8 and 9.
8:15.
Just right then, right now, got an answer.
You better hurry up. We only have 3 seats left. Oh, God.
Okay, it's not getting any better than that. End the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, with that, I'm going to say, very good talk, guys. I appreciate you. MoviePass, do better. That's all I'm going to say. Just do better. So let's go into plugs. Let's start with Jesse.
Ever laughed so hard you shit your pants? I have.
Hey, the alarm's gone off. It's 10:30. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, go give the Radulich in Broadcasting Network Facebook page a like. I do a podcast over there on the network. It is called Source Material. We talk about comic books. It's like a book club for people who read comics. If you've read something, there's possibility we have covered it on that show. We are at over 160 episodes, got all sorts of great stuff on there. Most recently, we've discussed the Infinity Gauntlet. We revisited the Infinity Gauntlet from 1991. So if you are just kind of wanting to get an idea of what came out before, or maybe just to get an idea of what the movie is based on, then you could check out that discussion. It's on there twice, one from our third episode and then one from our most recent revisiting of it, where me, Mark, and Pat Mullen got together and talked about that. Also,
we basically came up with
Thanos sucks. Thanos sucks.
Oh, please, Miss Death, how may I please you?
It's such a whiny little baby.
So yeah, and just real quick talk. I think Mark will probably mention it, but just to make sure that you check out the YouTube page as well, the Source Material YouTube page. Is we do some extra stuff that involves video here lately, where we are doing commentaries over some video game playthroughs. And we just released one today in regards to The Simpsons. So that's on there. We had a good time talking about that. Other than that, you can follow me at Stiznarkey on Twitter, at SourceMattCast on Twitter as well. I turn it over to the schedule himself.
Oh,
Marcus,
my God.
Tell us what's going on.
I seriously laughed so hard I started blacking out again.
Not good.
Movie Pass sucks. I love Movie Pass. Hey, what time's Peter around and play?
Right?
That's I just sir, you have to leave the room.
That guy's an admin, probably.
No, he's not. I checked. It's just admin being silly so he can, break the tension. No, the guy was serious.
All right. So next week, as Jesse mentioned, in synergizing with the Avengers Infinity War, we look back at the history of Thanos Rising, the limited series / trade paperback. We reviewed it. It's a very brief discussion. There wasn't a whole lot to that story. Tuesday, of course, will be Damn You Hollywood, our extensive look at Avengers Infinity War with myself and Robert Winfrey. We'll look at all the records it broke this weekend. It broke quite a few. We'll look at the reviews. It's certified fresh, but of course, it's somewhere in the 80s, which means some people weren't particularly thrilled with it. So we'll get into all of that. The Metal Hammer of Doom returns from its 2-week hiatus. 2-week hiatus, as a matter of fact, because I called off a week, and then last week you guys called off. So we'll look at Godsmack, When Legends Rise, and then Thursday I wasn't planning on doing a show, but the late great Bruno Sammartino was a favorite of one Pat Mullen, and he requested that we take a look back at his life and what he gave to the wrestling world, and then we're going to commentate on one of his matches. I believe one of his matches against Billy Graham, superstar Billy Graham, at MSG. So go ahead and give that a listen. The following week, Source Material is going to have He-Man versus Thundercats. On Trial will be back for a look at the board game adaptation Battleship, and then the Metal Hammer of Doom will be reviewing the new Monster Magnet called Mindfucker. All right, I gotta go. So I'm gonna pitch it over to Ronnie.
Later, Mark.
All right. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're listening to this live, I'm really surprised. But sorry, I was getting a drink of water. It's been bad today. And I'm crying. I laughed so hard I'm crying. But that has been the Screenboy Podcast. What happened, Movie Pass? So for Jesse Starcher, for Mark Radulich, I'm Ronnie Adams. I'm saying have a good one. And I keep wanting to say stuff that you all already say. So I'll just say we're out.